going on? My name is Eric Laitman. I'm here with another episode of Sekss Bokss, the podcast where you can talk about anything from boxing to sex, whatever topics in between. Here we have Andy Schiffer.
Yeah.
I said that right?
You said that right.
He's actually become a pretty good friend of mine. I met him in Los Angeles a little while ago. And currently we're in his house, this amazing house that he's been able to have. And let's get started. So, welcome, Andy.
Thank you. Thanks, Eric. Glad to be here.
No problem, man. Glad to have you on the show. So, how's life been going for you?
It's been going great. I actually was in a little bit of a rut lately. I was talking a little bit about this when we got Canner's. It's a good restaurant.
Yeah. Canner's. Let me just give you some background on Canner's. Canner's. What do you want to tell them?
Canner's is iconic deli. It has a beautiful ceiling. You would love going there if you haven't gone to a deli. It's a great time. Should I look at the camera and say, "Are you?" Is the camera like?
You could look at them. You could look at me.
Is it a third person? Is it like looking at like the camera's the third person, which is the audience?
Sure. You whatever you feel comfortable with. Let's say you want to look right at the camera the whole time. Be my guest. You want to look at me the whole time. Be my guest.
I'm gonna switch it up.
Switch it up.
But yeah, so when I'm explaining things, I'm gonna look at the camera,
okay,
as if it's the audience.
No problem.
And then when I'm talking to you about how I'm doing, I'm gonna be like looking at you.
That works for me.
Okay, cool.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay, one take. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
No, but seriously,
yeah,
you want to do,
cool.
It's completely up to you.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I was a little bit in a rut. I've been graduated in May somehow. I don't really realize the extent I had to push myself in order to graduate in time because of years of procrastination. But I was able to graduate. It was a huge stress, and then I started looking for jobs. I really wasn't going anywhere. I really felt a little lost because of that. So I decided to, with the help of family and friends, like push myself to just get back out there and start doing something. So I'm taking classes at UCLA Extension, which is a little interesting, but I'm learning a lot, and I feel happy just doing things while I look for a job now.
It's awesome, man. So a little bit about UCLA. I think you know this about me, but when I first got to Los Angeles, I had a hard time getting a job.
Right.
And what I did was I took a job at UCLA incubator. And what that was, it was my first time hearing about it. But what they have is they have a very small incubator with about 6 different companies or so. And these are startup companies.
Right.
And they have about a 3 or 6 month deadline to basically take their idea and their product that they have to production.
Oh, wow.
And what they do is they start with the concept, they work on it every single day for a long time, and then UCLA gives them resources as well as like a platform to use to have people come in and talk with them that have been in like corporations and stuff. And then finally at the end of the 6-month program, they end up presenting their product to hopeful investors. And I got to be part of that.
That's cool. I actually didn't know you did that.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, and that's basically what got my foot in the door to my current job.
Oh, that's dope.
And just on a side note, the reason why I decided to do that was because there's something called Skilled. Okay, Skilled is a platform that allows anybody to take a practice interview. I think it's generally for the technology field, because that's the field that I'm in currently. Right. But basically, it allows people to take a mock interview. And one of the people that was interviewing me actually works at Google. And he said the reason why he got a job at Google was because he originally took a non-paid job somewhere that he was interning. And then he worked there until they made him an employee. So he gave me the idea, and I would have never gotten this job if I didn't take my way to a non-paid position and work for free.
That's why you told me to do that thing. I should do that.
That's exactly right. I told you,
bro. I'm looking at the camera. Basically, we click away from that. Eric's giving me advice about my resume now because we've bonded originally over us not being able to get a job. And so now that you've cracked.
Yeah, the first time I met Andy was at a place called Jewish Roots.
Yeah.
This place is pretty amazing. What it does is it gives young Jewish professionals or just Jews in general a place to go spend time with other Jews and to like do learning. And then also it'll put Jews in like random houses in Beverly Hills for Shabbat. So have you taken advantage of that yet?
Yeah, I've done that. I've been learning a lot about that, actually, about like different cultures and stuff. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take the next step, about like staying kosher and all that.
I agree with you,
but I think I'm not ruling it out. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
All their children of all the Jewish families are so well behaved. It seems like a good system.
The best system.
The best system. And if you don't join it, no, but
you're getting brainwashed.
No, I don't know. Like I almost joined like 3 pyramid schemes while I'm in LA, so I'm just hoping that this one's legit.
Okay.
But I think it's a really interesting way. I think even if you're not really that Jewish and you're listening to this, go check out the Jewish community in your area. Just learn, because we all have this shared history that I have no idea about. Super deep. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. So basically that's where we met, and the first conversation I guess we had after I was done talking to you, you were like, dude, I think you're a pretty real guy. That's why I want to stay in touch with you. Something along the lines of that or something, right?
I definitely said that. Yeah. Don't remember what I said, but I definitely said that.
Because you have like a knack to be able to tell when people like have like a positive vibe, or when people are good.
I did say that.
Yeah,
I said that because I noticed. This is because you told me immediately, and this is a Sekss Bokss, so I can talk about anything.
That's right.
You told me immediately, like, this is how I knew you were real. It's because you told me immediately, within the first 5 minutes, you're like, I'm not having sex for a year. And I was like, this guy, that was exactly what someone that's not having sex for a year would say, like, in mid-September. Like, I don't know what I was talking about, off topic, I'm not having sex for a year.
All right, just to put some light on this, because I don't know if anybody knows what you're talking about. Basically, what I did was, and Andy knows it, that's why he's laughing right now, I made a commitment not to have sex for 1 whole year. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but I actually made a commitment to stop masturbating overall, in general. So the year was very difficult for me. It was one of the hardest things I ever had to do, but it was one of the biggest accomplishments in my life to be able to go a year without having sex and without masturbation. It was a pretty big milestone in my life. I'm still basically going, and it's changed my life. Specifically, what it did was it made me look for more real, and it also enabled me to focus on so many other things that are much more important than chasing women and looking at porn. Overall, I had the best year of my life.
So I had a question for you.
All right,
about that. So now that it's been a year, would you feel like you'd relapse into that, or is it just like you're okay doing it, or how do you feel? How's your relationship towards that change?
That's actually a great question.
I know it's your show.
So basically, I don't think that I would relapse into it. But I think I would wait to have sex with somebody that is important.
If you're listening.
And you're important.
Have sex with Eric.
I would definitely want to have sex with somebody important. And I recently, for the first time ever, okay, not ever, but there was an attractive girl that was coming on to me. Hardcore, and she was actually grabbing my groin.
Whoa.
Over the pants.
That's me too.
Yeah, so I was just like, she was pretty. I was enjoying the attention, But at a certain point, I was just like, nah, I'm not for it. Like, I'm
really?
And she was just like, she was actually turning me on, but I had the ability to divide myself from her in that situation. And even though she was throwing herself at me for about a half hour
Half hour is a lot.
And she was like kissing my neck, and I was, I just kept telling her I'm not going to do it. I ended up leaving. I took a cab by myself. And
wow.
I went home.
Was that this year or last year?
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago was at the start of the year. So you're still doing this trend because you're waiting for someone important.
Yeah.
She didn't give off the important vibes. How'd you know? Was it?
Okay, it's good you're asking these questions. So basically, I kind of have a little idea of what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And it wasn't her.
Wasn't the girl that grabbed your crotch right away.
Plus, I wouldn't. I'm actually friends. I'm friends with this girl, and I wouldn't do that right away. I'd have to get to know somebody, and then like actually figure out that there's somebody I want to spend a lot of time with, and maybe eventually spend the rest of my life with. So, what the year was able to do for me was it kind of enabled me to realize, don't just have sex for one day. Control yourself and have a more meaningful relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get smarter? That's my other question.
Yeah, I guess.
Because that would happen in Seinfeld when George stopped masturbating. And I don't know if that's real. Because I've never done it.
I would tell you this. I am the best version of myself ever.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm glad I met you, man. I wonder what you were like before. Like, how much worse? Like,
it wasn't that I was worse. It's just I was an animal.
You were an animal.
So I guess I was worse.
But
it depends on who you're asking. Yeah.
Gosh.
I was an animal.
Right now is not the best Andy. Like,
all right, let's go into Andy now. We've talked enough about Mr. Laitman. So, Andy, right now it's not the best form of you. Go into that. What do you mean?
Well, hopefully no one listens to this. I'll say that.
Don't worry, nobody is listening to this except for thousands. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. But like, I guess like masturbation for me is not something I've given up yet. So I guess what that means for me and my girlfriend is there's only up. Like, stop doing that. I don't know. Is it?
Well, so when you like masturbation, why would you want to stop? Like everybody does it. What's
I want to stop because I saw the Seinfeld thing where George starts masturbating, he becomes like a lecturer, genius guy, and I was like, that's not real.
Wires up, right?
Yeah, but then you said that it worked on you and made you smarter. My friends are all like from college, are all different religions or different faiths, whatever, and 3 of them, for different reasons, stopped masturbating for a month or whatever, and they all like had different results. And it was like I was watching a science experiment about masturbation, which I think, describes college in a way. But I learned a lot, and I didn't participate, but it was a good thing. I forgot what we're talking about.
So, yeah. So you talked about college. So something that I found out from Andy is that he went away to a college in Washington.
Yes, Whitman College. It's in Wawa.
Whitman College in Wawa, Washington.
Yeah.
And I think you told me the mascot is...
It used to be the Missionaries.
Okay, but now...
Now it's the Blues.
That's the Blues.
But it used to be the Missionaries, and our slogan was, Missionaries, Missionaries, we're on top.
Was there a cheer for this?
That was Missionaries, Missionaries, we're on top. Woo! But now they actually changed not only the mascot, but the paper was called the Pioneer, and they thought that was offensive. So they changed it to the Wire.
Why did they think the Pioneer was offensive?
I usually don't read the news, but I'll figure it out just by like the headline. Could not figure that one out. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm maybe that's... I don't know.
So you know what's nuts, man? I was just listening to the Joe Rogan podcast when I was coming here. And it was Joe Rogan. Do you know who Bill Maher is?
Yeah.
He's got his own show on HBO.
He's alright.
Okay, so literally, they were talking about how our society has become so sensitive that one of the reasons why people may end up voting for Donald Trump again is because they just don't want to be continuing on that road of sensitivity. Wow. They want to get rough around the edges, and they want somebody who's ready to be like, go crazy and all this stuff. That's stated by them, not by me. But that's what I was listening to on my way here. So what do you think about that?
I think it's kind of true. I mean, like around my family and a lot of my friends, it's a little bit more difficult for me to say what I want to say, but also, it's
what do you want to say?
I don't know.
All right, let's keep going.
But I'd say that it kind of forces me to step back from that role of I'm not really going to learn that much, and make me have to learn and decide whether what I'm saying is educated and something I stand for or like whatever. But like I don't know, I'm learning a lot. Like my grandpa actually is also learning with me. I feel like me and my grandpa are on the same page. We're like both like that people. I'm like basically a 78-year-old man in terms of how much I need to learn about appropriateness. We were watching this video on if there's 1,000 genders or not. And we were both like commenting about talking about kids these days or whatever. Okay, boomer stuff. But so we're learning a lot in general. But yeah.
You're right. That you think there are 1,000 genders?
No. I think from what I've heard, there's like 3, right? Like people that. But that's all I know.
Like man, transgender,
and then
I don't know. There's the LGBTQ community, but that doesn't have to do.
Is that a gender?
No,
we don't know.
Orientation. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
do you think we should look into that stuff?
Oh man. Okay,
that's
so I'm rough around the edges. Technically,
right.
I am very sensitive. I am sympathetic, and I can show empathy. But in reality, right at this very moment, I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care. Let people be who they want. Who needs to do science into it? It is what it is. There's enough social media and just access to the internet that people can talk about that stuff and whatever. You know? So for me, I don't care.
You don't care. I feel that's the best attitude. That's how everyone's going to be safe. We don't care. We don't say you can't do this, you can't do that. We're just like, we don't care. Maybe the world will be a better place. I don't know.
Yeah, I would think so. What does your grandfather think?
Definitely think so. Like, so my older brother is very opinionated, unlike me, and he's teaching my grandpa all these new stuff, and like grandpa's learning how to not say words. Like he doesn't say the word crazy anymore because there's a lot of people in my family that have.
Retard is also another word that we do not say.
Yeah, we keep saying list all the words. But I mean, I don't do a good job. Like I'll probably say even in this podcast, or maybe we already said crazy. But
it's okay. We're all crazy. I'm crazy.
Yeah. My grandpa is doing great steps. He even made this I'm talking about my grandpa a little bit. he joined since my grandma passed away. He's gone through this whole transformation where he actually learned how to be in touch with his feelings. Oh, really cool. He's 87.
All right. Yeah. I think that's great.
Yeah.
So that's good, man. And I also remember getting in touch with your feelings. You said that this was not a good year for you.
In terms of me getting in touch with my feelings, that's true.
Yeah. So what are you going to do in order to change it? Like, how are you going to?
I'm starting to hang out with more people that are more sensitive, like you. Like, I mean, I know you said you're rough around the edges, but
I am rough around the edges. I could be more sensitive, but you know what it is, man. Me specifically, I'm very solution oriented.
Right.
So I just go past the sensitivity and the sulking and the sadness.
Right.
And I'm just like, let me just hop over that and be like, let's find a solution.
Right.
So, that's who I am these days.
I like that. And just, I'm trying to, when I communicate, make sure that the bullshit is gone. And I don't know. I'm learning. I don't know.
There's a lot of bullshit in this town.
There's a lot of bullshit in my mouth. And
is there?
Yeah, I feel like that.
What do you mean?
Like, just to always say, well, I'm fine, you know?
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Stuff like that.
So you were one of those people that has a lot of feelings, but they don't tell anybody about those feelings?
But, like, the thing is, like, I honestly thought, like, that I was fine. Or, like, honestly think that, like, I'm in this neutral state when, like, there's so much more going on. and it'll come up in certain ways. Like I used to have all these trust issues and stuff like that, and it took me a while to realize that I have trust issues until like I had to go away from. I graduated college recently, and it was hard. I saw my friends posting Snapchats with their high school friends. My college friends posted that, and I was like, "This is bothering me. I don't know why." So I had to like look into it and like realize like, wow, like I really don't trust people as well as I should. So I'm like,
So when you said you had to look into it, what did you do?
well, I use WikiHow for everything. It's not.
Okay.
I don't recommend using WikiHow, even though WikiHow would say use WikiHow. I just think that I just look at that and then I execute the plan. There's this whole process. Like step 1, like look into your feelings. Like step 2, like is there any events that happen? Step 3, blah blah blah. And then it's just like it allows me to get to this point where I understand what's going on. But I recommend getting a therapist. Long term, getting a therapist.
I recommend that too. I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine today, and the first thing I told him was to see a therapist, psychologist, and the second thing I told him was to see a psychiatrist.
What's the difference?
Good question, Andy. Let me tell you. So a psychologist is somebody who cannot prescribe medication.
Okay.
A psychiatrist is somebody who can prescribe medication.
Okay.
Generally, a psychologist is the one that will listen to you and try to. Generally, it used to be talk therapy. Have you ever heard of that? Talk therapy is like you talk to them, they listen, they answer every now and again. Mm-hmm. Anyway, nowadays it's something called cognitive behavioral therapy. Have you heard of that?
You told me a little bit about it.
All right. Okay. And a psychiatrist is somebody who does not listen to the bullshit you have to say, like what you were speaking about, but it really isn't bullshit. But and all they do is they sit there and they prescribe medication.
Right.
That's it. Those are the differences.
So you recommended immediately that this person gets both?
This person is very depressed.
Okay.
And him and I are similar. I basically offered to buy him a plane ticket to come out to Los Angeles to change his life for him.
Wow.
Did that yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I know.
So lots been going on in your life. I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, bro. It's nonstop. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. So I said, dude, I'll buy your plane ticket. Come out here. You can stay with me. I just got a king size bed.
Wow. Important woman. If you're an important lady and you want to have sex with Eric, get a king size bed.
Yeah, for sure. And I was just like, dude, you can sleep on the other side. I won't even know you're there. It's a king size bed. And I'll change your life for you. I'll get you a job. I'll get you a therapist. I'll get you a psychiatrist.
Wow.
And I'll let you live with me without paying rent for a little bit, and I'll get you a job. I was told I'll help you with a job.
That's a huge gesture.
I basically put all the cards on the table for him, and his response was, "That's amazing." However, he's too afraid.
Too afraid.
That's basically it. So the majority of the people that are living in their situations that don't want to make changes in their life, fuck that bullshit. Make a change. It's been the best change that I've ever done. And don't be afraid. Literally, don't be afraid.
Right.
Don't be afraid.
Right.
That's it, man.
That's so true.
I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm willing to pay for this dude's flight and to change this guy's life. And I know I can do it. Right. If there's anybody out there that can do it, first it's Andy. After Andy, it's me. But yeah, I offered all this stuff, and his response was, "You've done a lot for me. You're a great guy. You've taught me a lot. I just can't." So said whatever. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Right? It's such an alternative reality that you created just now.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty easy. So, in my opinion, all it takes is $150 to fly out to California.
Right.
Right now, it's winter in the majority of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we're in January, it's a cold time. In California, for people especially that have seasonal affective disorder,
right,
which is myself, I have seasonal affective disorder.
Right.
He has seasonal affective disorder.
I have seasonal.
You have seasonal affective disorder, but I'm sure it's not as bad as it could be because
sure.
Still working.
Still working.
Still working. But yeah, so basically, living in California, especially on the West Coast, for seasonal affective disorder is very good. So that's basically what I told him, and his answer was no.
That's a shame. It's crazy.
It's a fear.
You're a life changer, though. Like, I never really offer people, like, hey, I'm going to change your life. That would change that person's life. Think about it. That's crazy. I use crazy a lot, see?
There's nothing wrong with saying that's great. Like,
I don't think so either.
The reason why I said retarded before is because I think that's like a much stronger connotation. Like, you're retarded. You know, like if you tell somebody that, now we're in 2020. It's not okay, really.
Yeah.
But if you're like, you're crazy, you know, I think that's an alright word to say.
Yeah.
But you and your grandpa don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you should. You know what you could do. This would be a good idea for you. Every time you say the word crazy, right?
Right.
You should maybe give up 10 cents or something.
Oh my god.
10 cents, and maybe carry a notepad around with you. Be like, 10 cents gone, 10 cents gone, 10 cents gone. And then rack up all the crazies you said and donate the money to charity.
Wow. You know what I should donate to?
What? Who?
Like a mental health thing.
Good. Actually, that would be great. It'd be really great. I mean, it makes sense. You're using the word crazy, and you're going to donate the funds. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
now I'm afraid to talk, though. That's the problem. You should say after
Andy, it's 10 cents.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
I do it.
That's great, man. Yeah.
I wonder how many times I already said this crazy. Oh, there's another. That was a cat. There used to be clauses.
Some people would say it counts. But if you write down clauses for it, maybe
I shouldn't write that counts. It's 10 cents.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So
I think that does it for the podcast today. Andy, you have anything else that you want to add?
I think it's important to get help if you're ever sad and to get a therapist.
I'm going to put the suicide hotline down below. Actually, I really will. Keep going.
Yeah, and if you want to do something to change your life, say yes. Like you said, you got to say yes.
Yeah. I'd say it's hard in the beginning, but once you actually make the change, no matter what it is, it takes a little while, but it'll get easier. Just like no sex, that was hard for about 6 months. Even at my 6-month break, there was only one reason why I did not have sex after 6 months. You want to hear
what?
A friend of mine needed a place to stay, and I let him stay with me. So I had met a girl at a club, and later on she texted me saying she wanted to have sex. I thought she was very attractive, and I was drunk. There is one reason, and one reason only, why I didn't have sex with her, and that was because a friend of mine was sleeping in my bed.
Wow.
So God works in mysterious ways. If you believe in God, who knows? But if there's a higher power out there,
right?
With that 6-month period, I went back to this friend, and I was like, "You were the reason for the celibacy to last so long."
That's great. Oh.
10 cents.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's really interesting.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for joining me on this podcast.
Of course.
For all you people out there, if you like it, just hit the subscribe button, like everybody else says.
I don't know what it is.
And maybe it's down or maybe it's up. I have no idea. But this is only one take. We don't do another take here. Yeah. And man, thanks for joining the show.
Oh, for sure, man. Thank you. I'll see you later.
Yes, sir.